Hey guys, it's Monaco Daniel from the world most populous Black nation. This presentation is brought to you by Mastermind Trading.
Okay, what we are going to be looking at basically in today's class, we are going to be looking at how to learn how to consume information, because it is very very important. Now, if you've been in the financial market, you've been in the global trading space, and for whatever reason you've not been getting the supposed desired result, then it's most likely because, not because what you've known before now is flawed, but maybe because you've gathered this knowledge wrongly. So for today, for the next 30 minutes, for as long as it's going to take, I want to quickly outline four basic points that I think that if anyone can incorporate into their learning process, they can fast track or boost the results that they are getting from their learning. First things first, there's a Bible verse I stumbled upon recently, and when I come to talking to people about learning, about educating themselves, I always like to just bring in that Bible verse. Of many books out there are many books on any field, and it's the same when it comes to trading. Of many videos out there, this is a natural principle that is applicable in every aspect of life. If you're looking for success, you have to first master one thing. You have to first show that you can master one thing. That is basically what this verse is talking about. Now, with that being said, um, now we are basically going to be looking at four things in the course of this training. The first year we will be looking at the four stages of learning. It is important that going forward, it is important to first acknowledge where you are right now. Like, acknowledge where exactly am I right now, and how do I move from where I am right now to the next stage, or to my desired stage, basically. So where am I right now? So basically there are four stages to learning, there are four stages to comprehension, there are four stages to awareness. Yeah, let me put it that way. Now, the first is the unconscious competence, and this is basically that stage of I don't know that I don't know. I don't know Wyckoff, and I don't know that I don't know Wyckoff. If Now, the second stage is the stage of conscious incompetence. Is okay. Me, for example, I'm going to use myself. I've been a supply and demand trader and a market structure trader for the most of my journey in the trading space, and with that, I know that I don't know ICT because I have not learned ICT. I have not practiced ICT. I know that I don't know ICT concept. So that's conscious incompetent. It's what you know that you don't know. Thirdly, there's the conscious competent. It is the things that you know that you can do, and you know that you can do. So I am a market structure trader. I am a supply and demand trader. I know that I trade market structure. I know that I trade supply and demand. I know I am competent in this aspect. Lastly, okay, guys, please, as you're joining in, don't forget to double tap on the screen. Let's share the live. Let others join in. Please double tap on the screen as you're joining in, guys. Double tap on the screen. Okay, now the last stage here is the stage of unconscious competence. And unconscious competency is that stage that you get to that you can almost do it from your sleep. You can do it, and you almost don't know that you can do it. I'm going to take, for example, let's take, for example, you tying your shoelace. You've been taught this from you being a child. You've been taught that you wake up in the morning, you have to, first thing first, you brush your teeth, you take your bath, you get prepared for school, you get dressed, wear your shoe. You've done this over and over and over and over and over again, that you've forgotten how to tie your shoelace, but you do it every single time that you need to put on your shoe. It is unconscious competent. You are unconsciously competent of what you can do. You can practically do it from your sleep. So these are the first stages of 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 learning, of comprehension. Now, it is very important that going forward, it is very important to acknowledge what point exactly are you in this process? What point exactly are you in this process? Because acknowledging where you are is important for moving forward. You have to start right where you are. You have to start right where you are and then walk your way forward from there. So, like I said, guys, these are the four basic things we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at the four levels of learning, which we just talked about. We'll be looking at how to get to the level of unconscious competence, then why 90% fail, the framework, and then let's go. Now, the first stages of learning are highly relevant for anyone interested in skill building, self mastery, personal development, or self actualization. These four stages that we pointed out earlier are not particular to someone that is looking to go into trading or trading the global financial market. It is particular to anything worthwhile you want to do. The success is basically performing at a stage of unconscious competence. That is basically the definition of success. Success is defined as performing at that realm, that stage of unconscious competence. The most successful people in the world are people that have done that have mastered their skill at the conscious competence level to the point that they can almost do it from their sleep. I think I've heard Warren Buffett at a point say that you should strive to be able to make more money when you are asleep than you can even spend while you are awake. So these four stages of learning is not just applicable to learning trading or whatsoever. It's general. Now, for the most part, we are not conscious about how to learn. We are never taught how to learn. We are given informations. There are a lot of informations, like I've been hammering since the start of this Trading for Dummies series. There's a lot of information out there when it comes to trading. But how to assimilate this information, how to carefully put this information together in a manner that can be used productively is where the problem is. I don't think that the vast majority of the trading community struggles with their trading results because there is something, if there's an information about, or there's a holy grail about trading out there that is not no, and everything you need to know about trading is out there. There's enough information out there for anybody to make something worthwhile out of the market. The problem is we are not taught how to learn. Very importantly, we are never really taught. It is important to consume them consciously. I think the word is conscious, it's consciousness. You have to consume this information consciously, deliberately, in an orderly manner. Okay, so next we are looking at how to go from where you are right now to the level of unconscious competence. So let's say that you are currently at the stage of unconscious incompetence. You don't even know what you don't know. You are just trying to figure out yourself. You're just trying to figure out what works for you. That is where you are right now. Let's say that is where you are right now. Now, the aim is wherever you are at, we want to move from there to unconscious competence, and there are two ways that I have outlined to doing that. First is do it at the conscious competence level. Do it at the conscious competence level. Now, it involves doing it over and over again at the conscious competent level until you can almost do it from your sleep. That is the first. Doing it at the conscious competent level, doing it over and over and over and over again until you can almost do it from your sleep. That is one. Now, that is what this program is aimed at. This program is aimed at helping you done. I am not talking about people that are talking about how it can be done. I am not talking about people that are telling you how it can be done. I am talking people that have actually done it at the conscious competent level and can prove that it can be done at the conscious competent level, basically. So by observing people that have proven that they can do it or that it can be done at the conscious competent level. Now, while these are the two proven ways that I have outlined towards achieving this result, I think that it boils down to just one thing. It boils down to doing it at the conscious competent level. It is you putting in, showing up every single day, waking up before every other person, going to bed after every other person, doing it consciously, deliberately, willingly, and gladly too. Because if you are doing it and you are murmuring doing it, you're not serious. If you're doing it and you are complaining doing it, you are not yet ready to get the result. You have to do it consciously, intentionally, and gladly. These three things have to be in place. You have to be doing it from a place of, I want to see a change in my result, so I have to do this to bring about a change in my result. You have to do it that, okay, this is the life I want, this is the life I am living. I have to walk my way through where I am right now to where I am going somehow. So you have to do it, but most important, it's going to be painful. It's really going to be painful. This is my 5 years at this. August 10 this year makes it exactly 5 years at this. I don't yet have that luxurious lifestyle, but I can tell you for a fact that from doing it at the conscious competent level, I can tell you that it is painful doing it deliberately. It is very painful doing it deliberately, but it doesn't really matter, because what I say to myself is, this is the pain of discipline, not the pain of regret. You can never lose feeling the pain of discipline. At the end of the day, it has to come to you doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again at the conscious competent level. I've been doing this 5 years and I've never really had a mentor. I learned from someone, I paid a course, but it's, this space is, people do marketing, people understand that doing anything worthwhile and seeing it to fruition it can be very challenging. It doesn't really matter what the task is, but doing anything worthwhile and seeing it to completion can be really tasking. So what I figure out that people do is they just try to move around the circle. Now, when it comes to trading particularly, you have people that sells information about trading, but they will not take that information to the market to make money for themselves. They would rather just sell to you courses, sell to you signals, sell to you materials, sell to you one thing or another, but they will not attempt to go into the market with that knowledge and make money for themselves. So I think that the person that I got into trading through maybe is one of those, because we paid for a course. In fact, he did not even show up for the entire training. He showed up for like a couple of days, and then at a point he was like, he's just going to send us the video, we should watch it and follow it up from there. But that was my entry point into this space. But I decided within myself that with or without a mentor, I am going to make this work for myself. With or without a guardian, I am going to make this work for myself. And I have committed the past 5 years to doing this consciously, deliberately, and gladly. And I'm still at it. I'm doing it gladly. Yes. So at the end of the day, it has to come down to you doing it at the conscious competent level. It has to be you who make that change happen. It really has to be you who make that change happen. It is nobody else. It is you. It has to be you. It's your work. It's your responsibility. Now, why 90% of people fail? Now, using statistical data, we know that on an average, in trading, it is quite very, very high. In trading, we have roughly just within 3 to 1% of the entire market making the most of market gains. But aside trading, generally across almost every professional field, you can find between 70 to 90% of people that are in that field um, below, how am I going to put it, unsuccessful in that field. You are going to find over 70 to 90% of people in that field. Now, it means that something is wrong somewhere. Like one great rule of thumb, I can't remember where exactly I picked that from. I read it from a book. I can't remember if it's something from Napoleon Hill or El Nightingale, but I saw somewhere where the writer says that a great rule of thumb to use is that whatever the vast majority of people are doing, if you can do the opposite of that, you will probably never make any other mistake your entire life again. And I completely agree with that, because if statistic is known, is out there, if statistic shows that over 72% to 90% of people fail, then it basically means that there is something wrong about how people approach the informations out there. There's enough information out there on any field entirely for anybody to be able to make something worthwhile for themselves. The question is, can you, or are you willing to do the work? That's the question. So now, right here I have outlined two reasons why people fail. First is because they are not doing it well enough at the conscious competence level. You have to be doing it consciously, competently. I'm trying to look for a word. Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, he used a word that I think best describes it. He said, get a burning desire for the fulfillment of your purpose. Get a burning desire. And by burning desire, it means that desire, you have to carry it with you at least 51% of the time. At least 51% of the time, you have to be conscious about doing it competently, because like I said earlier, if you are doing it and you are still doing guesswork, oh let me try this, oh let me try this, well, you are doing guesswork, you will still be guessing. That's basically it. It's guesswork now. Yes, you have to consciously, competently do it at least 51% of the time. At least 51% of the time. And then that's one. And secondly, the second reason why I think most people fail is they are listening to the wrong people. This is the very important part to me. And that is why where I have written out this note that I just want to read out. Why who you listen to is very important. Now, what I have written out is particularly relating with trading and the global financial market, because I am a trader, and and I think about last month I was out with a friend, and then he asked me a question that if I happen to meet someone that happens to be coming into trading for the first time, what is the advice that I'm going to give to that person? And I said that I'm not going to stress you any further. I'll just tell you, go online. This is data that is out there. It is known. I'm still trying to look for the page. This is data that is out there. It's known. Just go there and look for trading profitability and attrition rates. Google it. You'll find it in advanced clients in, I think, in the Western world, majorly in Europe and the United States. Trading firms are usually mandated to provide informations about the rate of profitability of traders on their platform, as well as the rate at which traders quit on their platform. Nice boy, Cherry, and Dami joined. Welcome, guys. Now, so in these countries, these informations are usually mandated. You have to make it public. You have to make it public. Now, in other parts of the world, they are not. So I have taken my time to look up this data. I have it written down here. I go about with it every single time of the day because it is important. Now, Looking at the trading and profitability, global retail data based off profitability rates by markets and traders. Now, according to global known data, like I said, you can Google this and then you will find a data that, if not is the same with what I have right here, it will be closely related to what I have here. Okay, now trading profitability rate by day traders. We have roughly 70 to 90% of day traders that are unprofitable long term, while we have about 72% of the forex market to be unprofitable on a quarterly basis. Now, among swing traders, we have around 30 to 40% of swing traders to be profitable long term, and this is the only bracket of traders. This is the bracket of traders where you have the largest amount of profitability among swing traders. 30 to 40% profitability rates among swing traders is the highest profitability rate that you are going to find, most likely. Now, if you look at futures data, now CME Group data shows that about 15 to 25% of futures traders manage to be profitable in 1 year. Why, in the crypto market in 2023, I love this particular illustration. In 2023, on-chain data showed that 77% of retail traders lost money in the crypto space. Now, this is particularly important. This is very, very important because 2022 was the year that Bitcoin broke its previous all-time high. As of 2018-2019, Bitcoin set an all-time high of $20,000 per Bitcoin. Now, with the bear market came post 2018-2019 into 2020-2021, and then market began to rally in 2021. But now this is the thing: the market peaked out by November of 2022, and global on-chain data shows that 77% of market participants lost money that year that Bitcoin made the most gain. So the question that you want to be asking now is this: how do you reconcile the difference between the market outperforming every other market in the financial space that year, and then the vast majority of traders, 77% of traders, losing money that exact same year? It tells that something is wrong. So now, this is the data according to markets and traders based on profitability rates. You can see, like I said earlier, the best place we have the best performing traders are among swing traders, where we have 30% of traders to be profitable. Now, I will go a bit further. Within 8 to 14 months. Yes, so, and as you can see again, we have roughly about within the range of 70 to 90% of market participants quitting at most within a 1 year period. The best place we have traders is, I think, in the futures market, where we have at least up till 14 months. Other than that, people quit within 6 months, within 3 months, within 4 months. Yes. Now, lastly, let's look at success and attrition rate based on professionals. So now, this data we want to look at now is based on the number of professionals, bankers, engineers, scientists, doctors, nurses coming into trading. So you are a professional in a particular field, changing field, and then coming into the financial market. Now, I'll give you the data based on success rates based on professionals coming into the space. Now, the success rate and attrition rate by professionals. By success rate, we have about 15 to 25% achieving consistent profitability long term. only 15 to 25% manage to achieve profitability. And then we have attrition rate of about 50 to 60% of professionals that come into the financial market quitting within 1 year. So if you've paid attention to me closely for the past 5 minutes, or let's say 10, I don't think it took up to 10 minutes, but if you've paid attention to me closely while I was reading that, what you would pick what you would pick from that is that trading is exceptionally challenging. Trading goes beyond what is being projected on the internet as the reality of trading, because if you online, to be quite honest with you, I have been in the financial market, I've been in this trading space myself. Like I said earlier, precisely August 10 this year makes it exactly 5 years since the time I paid for that course in 2020 that first got me into futures trading. So I have been in this space, I've been in finance for God knows how long. I am a professional in finance. Yes, I'm a professional in finance. So I've been in finance for not 10 years, I don't think 15 years that I've been studying finance and money. And then I am in the financial markets right now for at least the last 5 years. And I can tell you from personal experience that trading can be, if not for most people, can be the most challenging task you have ever taken up your entire life. Trust me, it can be the most challenging task you have ever taken up your entire life.
That's why who you listen to when it comes to trading is very important. Now, when you're listening to someone, you should be listening to someone who have what you want, or who have proven that what you want can be achievable. Yes, it's very important. You just have to carefully select who you listen to. This is very, very important, because like if you paid any attention while I was reading those information out based off global data on profitability and attrition rate, you would see without a doubt that trading is exceptionally difficult. But aside trading being exceptionally difficult, is what that, if you assimilate the information properly, what it is going to tell you, what you will make out of that, is that the vast majority of trades as well as traders that you see online are basically just masquerading as traders. The vast majority of traders or supposed traders online are usually just masquerading as traders. And for a field that is as difficult as trading, what you want to be doing for yourself is reducing the length of your journey rather than prolonging it. And one very easy way to prolong your journey is by listening to someone who has not proven that it can be done, who has either not proven that it can be done, or who has not shown that what you want to achieve is possible, is achievable, and is putting the action step towards achieving them. I usually say something that when it comes to who you listen to, I really don't emphasize on who you listen to, as in it has to be someone that is already living that dream life. It just should be someone that is true to their process, because 90% of these people masquerading as traders are not true to the process. If you are pretending, I know there's like a catch that fake it till you make it, but it is really not in trading. In trading, when you fake it, you are not a trader, you are a scam. When you fake it in trading, you are not a trader. And 99% of the people that are out there claiming to be traders, posing to be traders, posting as traders, are basically just trying to sell to you their knowledge of the market, rather than trying to use that knowledge to go into the market and make something for themselves. So if you have to pay someone, you should be sure that you are paying someone who has proven that they are worth that payment. And by worth that payment, I'm not talking in terms of abstract knowledge, because anybody can know anything about the market. I'm talking in terms of discipline, consistency, and then putting that knowledge to work. So that is one with who you listen to. Very important, very, very, very importantly. In fact, who you listen to is one of the most important thing to me when it comes to trading. One easy thing I'm going to say is go online and look up. Do you have you ever met a losing trader online? Like everybody online is a winner. Everybody online is a winner, but the stats shows that 90% are losers. So where is the discrepancies coming from? So that's one thing. Now, um, third, what's your teachability index? Your teachability index is basically what's your willingness to learn, and then what's your willingness to change. Now, making these recordings, I'm just laughing because I looking at the video series from where we started up until this point. Occasionally, I go to YouTube just to check on the progress and see how things are doing. And then I noticed one thing, that the first videos, the introductory videos that were talking about the basics of financial market, the basics of price action, and all of that, have the lowest views. You are going to see very low views, and then as the video series begin to progress into more advanced interesting topics, you begin to see the watch as the views increase. Now, if you are that person that you are selecting what you are going to consume, I promise you that you are not yet willing to learn. I can give you that promise for free, that you are not yet willing to learn. And if you are not willing to learn, then most definitely it means that you are not willing to change. Because if you must learn, you have to first come with a cup that is completely empty, not a cup that is half filled, not a cup that is half empty. You have to come, you have to assume that you don't know absolutely anything. That is the first assumption you have to make. If you cannot make this assumption and make peace with this assumption, I promise you that you are not yet ready to learn. Because if you think that you have a knowledge of the market before, but if you don't have your desired result with the knowledge you have before, then it means that something is wrong with the knowledge you have. And if what you have is not working, then assume yourself to be. It is Trading for Dummies series for a reason. A dummy, a dullard. I like to use that word because I assumed myself to be a dullard before I start to learn. A dummy is someone that has his head empty, that has their head 100% empty. So I am telling you that before you can prove to be willing to learn, yeah, you have to first and foremost empty your cup 100%. Empty your cup. That is what I am talking about right now. You have to empty your cup 100%, and then you have to be willing to change. If what you know before isn't working, then it means that you need to look for new ways that are working. Now, I'm going to give this as I'm going to say this to anyone out there. Now, start by incorporating discipline. Discipline yourself to watch this Trading for Dummies series from the very first video till the end, from the start. If you've not done that before and you've been following the series, I am telling you that if you claim to be ready for the change, you have to go back again and start all over again. You have to learn to become a master of the basics. That is what we are looking at right now. We are working towards becoming a master of the basics. So if you are still selecting what to consume, trust me, you are not yet ready to learn. So what's your teachability index? What's your willingness to learn? What's your willingness to change? What's your willingness to let go of what you have before? What's your willingness to let go of what you are bringing in order to pick up something new that would be, that can be, that should be beneficial to you? Lastly, let's look at the training balance scale. Now, the training balance scale, basically from the word scale, I kind of just like to use it as a scale where you balance between motivation when you are learning new things, and then practical action steps while you're learning. You know, there's usually conservativeness among people to believe that information is power. There's this rigid conservativeness among people to actually believe that information is power. Now, while I do believe that ideas is power, I don't think information is power. I think action, in reality, action, um, carefully aligned action is power. It is not. The training balance scale basically focus on when you're learning, or when you are being trained, or when you are training someone. How do you balance between the motivation of learning and then putting what you've learned to work? So this is basically what the training balance scale is. Aside theoretical explanation, I think that this basically just say that it doesn't just stop at you learning. It goes way beyond you learning to you putting what you've learned to work, and then seeing that to completion, because it is very easy for people to start and then not finish. It is very easy. In fact, I know a lot of people that have learned everything about trading, but they've never learned anything to completion. You have to not just learn, you have to learn and then be able to do it at the conscious competent level until you realize why it doesn't work, not why it does. I keep emphasizing on that. You have to be able to do it on the conscious competence level until you realize why it doesn't work, not why it does. And to do that, you have to look for a way to balance between the information that you are gathering and then how to put that information together in a way that can be of use to you. So, guys, I remain Monaco Daniel, the mastermind trader from the world's most populous Black nation. I'll see you guys in the next video.